So I watched some of the Olympics. I thought that was a lot of fun. I like the swimming events. I don't know if you know this. You know they actually have a lifeguard on duty for the swimming events? What a cake job that is. Man, I mean, God forbid if something would happen, who amongst these world-class athletic swimmers could help out? A lot of events in the swimming event, right? They have the backstroke and the freestyle and the breaststroke. You know one thing I'd love to see? The doggy paddle. Wouldn't that be fun? And to make it more interesting, you know what they should do? Throw a dog in there. See how they do then. Oh, and Michael Phelps loses the 50-meter doggy paddle to Lassie by a nose. So close. Yeah. So Donald Trump is running for president, right? You know, I haven't liked Donald Trump ever since he came out with that show of his, The Apprentice. I mean, the guy is a billionaire, right? A billionaire. And I would hate the kind of prizes he'd give away. Team number 1. You just defeated team number 2 in the competition. You get the prize. And that prize, it's gonna be huge. I'm gonna let you all come up to my apartment on 5th Avenue and look around.
You guys are good clappers. I just packed on a little bit over 10 pounds. Thank you. It was nothing. I knew something was up though. I busted the button off of 2 pairs of pants in 1 month. And not just like, oh, I lost a button. More like, look out, heads up. Like, people are like, what the hell was that? I'm like holding in my stomach so I don't break anyone's toes. But I went to the doctor. I figured I had like a stomach tumor or something. And he was like, no, you gained 10 pounds. I'm like, really? I gave you my co-payment. Can I get a diagnosis? I mean, really? You know, no ultrasound, no operation. That's what I'm really looking for in a primary care physician, you know, is someone who is as committed to finding something wrong with me as I am, you know. And I don't think he was. But I'll tell you something, it took me 2 long years of depriving myself carbs, running, doing yoga to lose 20 pounds. And it took me 6 fun-filled weeks to gain 10 of it back. So I can see, thank you. I've been having a lot of fun. Bloated, but fun. But you know, I'll tell you something. I feel like when I did lose weight, I had gotten into running. You know, anyone here runners? No. Good. Smart people. I like you guys already. I hate running, and it's not an innate talent for me. It doesn't come easy for me. I'm actually a very ugly runner. Like, when people see me running, I'm like beet red, arms flailing, hyperventilating. People are stopping me on the street like, are you okay? Do you need help? It looks like there's something very wrong happening here. I'm like, oh no, I'm just exercising. Someone told me this was good for me. Do you have cab fare? But it's true. Like, I feel like when I run, I cause other people to run. Like, they see me coming and they just throw their stuff in the air and they're like, I don't know what is going on, but this girl looks terrified and I am getting out of here. The guy who runs my running group, he's one of these guys, he believes that everything you put in your body should be fuel, you know, and he knows that I don't feel the same way. So he's always trying to convince me to stick with it, you know. He's like, you know, Kendra, Olympic runners eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. And I'm like, well, I got that down. I can eat like I'm training for the Olympics, but I work out like a clinically depressed hypochondriac. I'm waking up like, I don't want to go, I look ugly. There's no amount of whining and complaining that's going to burn 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
I think I solved the problem of low attendance at the Special Olympics. Seriously, because I saw some literature on coming to the Special Olympics, and they are not specific enough about what you're going to see when you go there. And I think they should be. You know what? You know who does get it right is the wheelchair basketball, right? You know what you're going to see there. Men in wheelchairs playing basketball. And that's awesome, right? Because a lot of times they have a lot of pent-up aggression and they'll get into fights and a lot of upper body strength there. So you know what you're gonna see, right? Well, I'm not interested in seeing Special Olympic track and field events. You know what I would see though? Retarded pole vault. Okay? Retarded javelin. I would go to see that. Because you know what you're gonna see. A lot of times retarded javelin becomes retarded pole vault, just based on coordination. And that's awesome. Have you guys, speaking of that, have you guys seen that movie from the 90s called The Boy Who Could Fly? Yeah, it's about a retarded kid who could fly. Or maybe he thought, I didn't see it, I'm not interested, whatever, it doesn't matter. But he either could fly or he thought he could fly, right? And but it doesn't make any difference. Here's what I was thinking. If a genie came to me and said, Bob, I'm gonna give you the power of flight. You can fly, you can soar through the air anytime you want. You could fly. But in return, you get a wicked case of Down syndrome. Okay? You know what I would say to that genie? Give me my cape and my helmet, because that is awesome! I could fly? Yes! I don't care if I'm retarded, I'm halfway there anyway. I just fly around. I wouldn't have any responsibility for saving people. You know, somebody on the ground, oh, flying person, help, save me, I'm in trouble of some sort. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm retarded. Pretty much all I do is fly and eat pudding. So, that's all I would do.
I'm 4'11", but I'm a huge, I love sports and I love basketball players. The taller the man, the better. I mean, think about this. The idea that Shaquille O'Neal could swallow me whole. No, I could travel through his large and small intestines, crawl up, shower up, and be fine is hot to me. That's hot. And I love baseball so much. I mean, where else do you get to see grown men without underwear on and tight white pants spitting and spanking each other? That's good times. You like it, don't lie. Yeah, there's always got to be one manly guy. Yeah, no, I don't watch it. I do get tripped out though by the spanking though. I mean, I love it so much, but it kind of I get one spank, shake it off. You know what I mean? Or two, shake it off, get out there. But I think at 3, it's I don't know, it's shake it off, get out there, I have feelings for you. And I'll tell you what's not a sport, hunting, okay? Because a sport is when both sides know they're playing. Yeah. And both sides have a chance to win, right? Hunting is like setting a dish of black licorice out at an old folks' home and hiding behind a chair with a bat.
TikTok, you don't stop to the TikTok, you.
I grew up with a father who was a big pothead. My father loved to smoke pot. Bad thing was my father used to smoke pot and then insist on helping me with my homework. Halfway through 3rd grade, they sent a letter home saying that I was retarded. The only good thing that came out of that is that I won 3 medals at the Special Olympics that year. Went to this great Chinese restaurant the other day where the waiter actually allows you to choose the duck you want to eat. So I chose the Aflac duck. Pretty good. I come from a large family, I gotta tell you. And the good thing though is coming from a family with so many siblings is that when you're doing something wrong, your sibling will do something that's worse, you know? My father used to freak out when he would walk in and catch me playing with my sister's Easy Bake Oven. But then my brother would wake up and we would see that he had peed in the bed. My brother peed in the bed until he was 14 years old. Well, technically he stopped when he was 7, but I used to sneak in at night and pee on him. So I could continue making scones. My father was in the household, but he didn't rule the household. My mother ruled everything. Women control everything. Am I correct? Women, my mother controlled everything my father did, except for who he slept with.
I'm a big sports fan. I love sports. I think my favorite thing about sports is that being a sports fan is a license to be a jerk. You know what I'm saying? I love going to day baseball games, all right? Because what you do is, like, I call in sick to work, all right? I get drunk on beer, I get fat on nachos, then I yell at a professional athlete to try harder. You understand? I faked a cough to get a free paid vacation day, and I'm criticizing the effort of a guy who swam here from Cuba. My other favorite thing about sports is these top 50 all-time athletes lists. They always put Secretariat on there. And Secretariat was awesome, all right? But if you guys know this or not, the Secretariat was a horse. And in a race against people, being a horse is pretty much cheating. You get, if you're going to put Secretariat on a list of human sprinters, like, we're terrible athletes compared to animals, right? Let's go all the way. Let's put like a silverback gorilla in the UFC. Right? Just ring the bell, mix it up, see what happens, right? Or to make it fair, let's flip it. Put me in a spelling bee with 50 aardvarks. Top 50 all-time aardvark speller, right here, people. You understand, we're a terrible species. Like, we're really weak compared to animals. Like if we didn't have thumbs to sew clothes, we'd freeze to death in Southern California where there's no winter. You understand? People are like, oh, God gave us brains. Well, like, who would pick brains? Anybody, right? I never seen like a bird soaring through the sky on its awesome, majestic wings. If like he was looking down at me and be like, man, I'd give this all up if we could just do Sudoku. Because here's what made me realize what a weak species we are. Is like, I read this, it costs $280,000, all right, to raise a human child to the age of 18, where it can barely fend for itself, all right. Giraffes are born being able to run. Who wouldn't have a kid if it was that easy? Your kid just plopped out and you're like, your name's Tim? Go get him. I recently discovered that my sleep number is 5 Xanax. My roommate's got his weed card for anxiety, and I don't smoke weed because I want to do things like vote for Ron Paul and believe in ghosts. Because the thing about weed is it's the only drug that comes with its own belief system. All right, like he went hunting for Bigfoot. Like, you understand the word hunting presumes you can find the thing you're looking for. Like, you didn't go hunting for Bigfoot. You got high in the woods and giggled at the thought of getting high with a Bigfoot. Like, he believes in ghosts. I don't believe in ghosts. Here's why, all right? Ghosts are always mean, all right? Like, nice people die too. Where are those ghosts? Like, you never see somebody who's like, hey, I think my place is haunted. Well, why? Well, like, I came home, my dishes were put away, and my laundry was folded.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited about football season. What annoys me about professional sports, though, are the professional athletes. Like how they're always like, oh, it's our job to play sports. Playing sports is a privilege. It's not a job. Like, you know it's not a real job when we play your job for fun on our day off. When's the last time you called your friends and said, hey, you want to get together for a little 5-on-5 landscaping? You know? Or John Thomas. You know John Thomas? Yeah, he's in my fantasy drywall team. That's my boy. And I love when they score a touchdown or something and they're like he cares. You know, you should do that when you do something good. You know, you help an old lady across the street. Then I started wondering if, like, when evil people do things, you know, like if they rob that same old lady, if they're like, give me that. That's for you. Hey, man. So Tom Cruise's daughter, Suri, was in the news. She had a birthday a couple months. You know what bothers me about celebrities is what they name their kids. Like, are you that pompous and think you're that much of an elitist that you can't name your kid Bob or Mark? Like, I researched the name Suri. It means Hebrew princess. And he's a Scientologist. Shouldn't he name his kid Anakin or Spock? Here's other names. Here's other celebrity kid names. Ever, Apple, Sailor. That doesn't sound like a teacher giving roll call. Sounds more like the opening credits to a porno. That's what it sounds like. And Nicolas Cage named his kid Kal-El. For those of you who don't know who Kal-El is, that was Superman's original name when he lived on the planet Krypton. Not only is that insane, but do you realize the expectations you put on this kid? What if little Kal-El doesn't make the football team? What if little Kal-El sleeps with a girl and finishes in 20 seconds? It's embarrassing. And you know the girl's gonna mess with him. She's gonna be like, yeah, I heard Superman's faster than a speeding bullet, but Jesus. David Duchovny, that's another douchebag right there. That's the guy from the X-Files, okay? He checked in to internet porn rehab. It exists, I know, because now my wife wants me to go. But you know it's a crock. You know he got caught doing something behind the computer. His wife walked in, screamed, and he was like, I have a disease. Yeah, it's called being a man. That's your disease. I mean, how bad could it be? What does he go over his friend's house? Hey, man. I could check my email real quick.